The rain hammered against the windows of downtown Chicago like thousands of tiny drums. Neon lights reflected across the wet streets. Traffic crawled. People hurried beneath umbrellas. And inside the luxurious Sterling Tower, the annual executive celebration was finally coming to an end. Music echoed through the penthouse ballroom. Champagne flowed freely. Million-dollar deals had been discussed. Promotions had been announced. Success had been celebrated, at least on the surface. Because hidden beneath the smiles, one woman was quietly falling apart. Her name was Sophia Whitmore, 37 years old, CEO of Whitmore Technologies, featured on magazine covers, named one of America's most powerful business leaders, feared by competitors, admired by investors, respected by almost everyone. Almost. Sophia stood near the balcony doors, holding another glass of champagne, then another, then another. Most people didn't notice, because powerful people are often allowed to self-destruct in public as long as they do it elegantly. Tonight had been difficult. Earlier that afternoon, the board approved a major merger. The media called it a victory. Shareholders celebrated. But Sophia knew the truth. The merger would cost hundreds of employees their jobs, families, parents, workers who had spent years helping build the company. And no matter how many people congratulated her, the decision felt wrong. Very wrong. Across the room, a man noticed. 44-year-old Marcus Reed, single father, former construction worker, owner of a growing manufacturing company, a man who understood what exhaustion looked like because he'd worn it himself for years. 5 years earlier, cancer had taken his wife Rachel. One terrible year, one impossible goodbye. After that, Marcus raised his daughter Ava alone, worked longer hours, carried heavier burdens, and learned something important. The strongest people often hide their pain the best, which was why Sophia's smile immediately concerned him, because it wasn't real, not even close. As guests slowly left the ballroom, Sophia reached for another drink. Marcus gently stepped forward. "Think you've had enough?" Sophia turned, immediately annoyed. "Excuse me?" Her words slurred slightly. Marcus offered a polite smile. "You should probably get home." Sophia laughed, a sharp laugh. "You giving me advice?" "No." She grabbed the drink, then nearly lost her balance. Marcus caught the glass before it shattered. Sophia stared at him for several seconds, then rolled her eyes. "Wonderful." Marcus remained calm. "You're going to save me?" "I wasn't planning on it." That answer surprised her. Most men became awkward around powerful women. Marcus didn't, and somehow that irritated her. 30 minutes later, the ballroom was nearly empty. The rain had gotten worse. Sophia stood outside, trying unsuccessfully to unlock her luxury car. Marcus happened to be walking past again. She glared at him. "What now?" "You've been trying the wrong key for 5 minutes." Sophia froze, looked down, then realized he was right. Marcus tried very hard not to laugh. Sophia noticed. "Don't. I'm not. You are." A little smile. The first time all evening. Sophia smiled too. A real smile. Tiny but real. Then she suddenly became dizzy. The smile vanished. Marcus immediately caught her arm before she fell. Sophia closed her eyes. The world spun. And for the first time in years, she felt vulnerable. A feeling she absolutely hated. 20 minutes later, Marcus's pickup truck drove through the rain. Sophia sat silently in the passenger seat, arms folded, trying to preserve what remained of her dignity. "This is humiliating." Marcus focused on the road. "Survive. I'm a CEO. Congratulations. I run a billion-dollar company." "That's nice." Sophia stared at him. Most people were impressed by her title. Marcus clearly wasn't, which made him strangely refreshing and strangely annoying. "You don't care who I am." Marcus shrugged. "Should I?" Sophia didn't answer because for the first time in a very long time, she didn't know. The truck eventually stopped outside a large estate on the northern edge of the city. Sophia blinked. "You can leave." Marcus nodded. "That's the plan." But before she could open the door, the front door of the house swung open. A man hurried outside, distinguished, silver-haired, concern written across his face. Charles Whitmore, Sophia's father. The moment he saw his daughter, relief flooded his expression. Then he noticed Marcus, and everything changed. Charles stopped walking completely. His eyes widened. Sophia immediately noticed. "Dad." Charles ignored her. He continued staring at Marcus. Marcus looked confused. "Sir." Then suddenly Charles smiled. A huge smile. The kind fathers get when they've discovered something important. "Oh my goodness." Sophia froze. "No." Charles pointed at Marcus. "So you're the man." Marcus blinked. "What man?" Charles laughed, the delighted kind of laugh. "The man she pretends to hate." Silence. Complete silence. Sophia's face lost all color. "Father, don't even start." Marcus looked from one to the other, completely confused. Charles crossed his arms. "For 2 years, I've heard about you." Marcus nearly choked. "I'm sorry." "What?" Sophia looked horrified. "Dad, stop." But Charles wasn't stopping. Not even close. Every meeting, every conference, every business event, Sophia covered her face. Marcus stared. "What are we talking about?" Charles smiled wider. "Marcus Reed." Now Marcus froze, because he had never told anyone his name. Not tonight. Not at the house? Not anywhere. Charles laughed. Famous Marcus Reed. Sophia wanted the ground to open and swallow her whole, immediately, right now. Marcus looked at Sophia. Sophia looked away, which told him everything. Charles continued, enjoying himself. Oh yes, the stubborn contractor, the impossible businessman, irritating competitor, the man who argues with her in every meeting. Sophia groaned. Father, somehow Charles continued, the only person whose opinion she talks about nonstop. Marcus stared. Sophia stared at the ground. The rain continued falling, and suddenly nothing made sense anymore, because the woman who spent 2 years challenging him, disagreeing with him, and acting like she couldn't stand him, apparently talked about him all the time. Charles smiled knowingly. Sophia looked ready to die from embarrassment, and Marcus realized something unexpected. Maybe tonight wasn't the first chapter of their story. Maybe it had started years ago, and neither of them had simply noticed. But what Marcus didn't know was that Charles had kept one secret, a secret Sophia had hidden for years, a secret involving a letter, a photograph, and a promise made shortly after Rachel's death. And when Marcus discovered the truth, everything between him and Sophia would change forever. If you enjoyed this story, hit subscribe to USA Enlightened Stories, like this video, and drop a comment below telling us what you think happens next.